Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. I'm your host, Nick, managing editor of DoubleClutch.ca magazine, and hey, we got a full house this week. We got Imran, Rush, and Nathan.
What's up?
Whose idea was it to get icy drinks prior to podcasting?
Well,
I think it was yours.
It's like
No, that was your idea.
No,
You saw
4,000 degrees.
Frosticino and you're like, yo, we gotta stop.
Wait, did it say?
I would have been fine with
The
the
sign
frosting.
worked for me. I don't know, man. I
Did you
just saw
say-
it.
What did it say?
Frosticino.
Frosticino. Oh, that would work on me too.
It looked refreshing. But it's been hot this week. It's like 35 degrees or something like
3,500
that.
degrees, yeah.
Yeah, 3,500 degrees,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh my
Celsius. What is that in
God.
American? Hot. It's
Yeah,
hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah.
Chewing ice on a
Can,
podcast.
can you not?
It's habit.
It's
I'm
okay. It's
sorry.
like background music. It adds a little, something.
I think the heat's getting to all of us.
I think so.
Probably.
Speaking of a little something, Nicholas, what are we talking
We,
about this week?
A little
You,
something.
you didn't do your howdy thing.
Well, no, I led in with a different non sequitur. I like to change it up.
Yeah, you know, he's like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm creative and interesting.
are you, though?
No, I'm not.
All right.
Anyone who's read my work knows that.
Oh, got him.
Ooh, self-burn.
This week, we have the Ultium Trilogy.
Ultium.
I'm in the interest of full disclosure, I stole that term from Nathan last week. I thought it was pretty funny, so yeah, we're going with that. This week is the Ultium Trilogy. We got we recently spent some time in all three of Chevy / Cadillac / Honda's new EVs: the Blazer EV, the Lyriq, and the Prologue.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
We also have a truck.
Yes.
Did you forget about the truck?
I think he forgot
did.
about the
I
truck.
think you forgot
We
about
did
the
Because
truck.
the first point on
Definitely.
the sticky note is those three, and the second note
It's not mentioned.
It's
is just question marks.
Okay, because
That's
the truck
for just
yes,
fill the air with
might.
shit.
The truck is that good.
That's right. That's
it probably
right.
is.
You haven't driven that truck, have you?
I have not driven this mystery truck yet.
It's not a mystery.
That's why
Well, we know what it is.
Yeah, we know. Okay, we also have a 24 taco, base-ish taco, actually.
Base-ish,
The,
yeah. Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport.
Yes.
It's different from the TRD Pro in that it has a very little TRD.
Yes.
It is mostly just an appearance package and otherwise medium-ish equipped truck.
Yep.
Looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. So I don't love it personally. The TRD Sport specifically gets body colored side molding and a hood scoop.
Oh.
It also has the wrong tires on it.
And it's got the base road tires on it.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, there's no truck stuff happening with those tires.
It
It's
is a sport truck.
fully for. But is it a sport truck?
No, it's not.
slow.
It's-
No, it is.
not.
It is slow as molasses.
It's kind of sport. It's the word sport is red.
kind of sport.
I didn't even realize it was turboed until I looked down and I saw the gauge and I'm
boost
like,
gauge?
wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm like, and also 15 psi. I'm like, what is under here? Because it's not moving.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 4. Okay, hang on.
So it's the same 2.7 liter turbo 4
2.4.
Okay.
that Toyota's been rolling out in a bunch of their products. I think this is the first time we've reviewed it.
2.4 liter.
No, it's 2.7. No, I'm thinking of the GM. It is 2.4. You're right.
Sounds hybrid.
Sans hybrid. So
Sans hybrid,
in
yeah.
all the applications we've had, it's been the iForce Max with the
Yeah.
hybrid assist. This is without.
And you can really
can-
feel
yeah,
it.
you can
Oh,
tell.
feel it. The
Although
hybrid also does a very good job filling in torque and turbo lag that
Yeah.
this has. I don't say struggles with, but you notice it.
yeah, but you really it's true. You gain an appreciation for that hybrid powertrain after
Yeah.
driving
This.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think the big thing with had I driven this before the hybrid, it would have been it's okay.
Yeah.
But the hybrid, really just
Wow,
kind of
it's so much
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
it really feels like it was made to be, and it probably was the hybrid drivetrain, and then they just took it out because they're like, okay, we'll offer a cheaper option, and it's not good.
It makes sense to offer that cheaper
Oh, no, it
option
definitely
in
does,
the-
yeah.
And it's not bad. It moves. It feels slow, but if you look down, it actually moves.
Right.
And I think the big thing going forward is that the iForce Max hybrids, not the Prius style hybrids, the new Max hybrids are really more for performance over fuel
Right.
economy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about delivering so much more performance with about the same fuel economy.
Right.
Yeah, because when you had the Trail Hunter, it
I was doing
didn't return that
it wasn't
good
bad.
fuel economy.
No, it was 11 or 12, I think.
Yeah.
But it's also on big knobbly ass tires
Yeah.
and racks and shit.
That's pretty good.
I'm doing 10 in this.
That's pretty
So
good.
not that much better.
Yeah, but better
It's still decent.
without hybrid.
Yeah.
And you also had the.
But you're missing so much.
That's-
You're missing
Exactly.
but like the point is that it's not like the backwards thing where you spend more money to save gas. You're just
Oh,
straight
I
spending
see.
more money to go faster.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
That's fair.
They did a good job like balancing. Okay, like it works. It has, enough power to do things,
I don't know.
and it's decent on gas. That's what you buy a Tacoma for.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, if
I
you
think
wanted
I'm just
if you wanted
being.
to say your thing.
Yeah, I think I'm just being like stupid because it's like it is a truck and it does feel like a truck because it's also manual.
It's such a So let's address that. That's kind of like the big talking
Right.
point about the Tacoma is that it's the only truck that I'm aware of on the market right now. Is a Frontier a stick? I don't think so.
No, that's 9. That's 9-speed only.
So the only truck on the market right now that is offered with a 6-speed stick. It is a carryover from the last one, as far as I can tell.
Feels like it.
Yeah, it feels old. It feels old. There's something inherently cool about a manual pickup truck. Like I will say that, and I'm not even a pickup truck guy.
Yeah,
But
and I feel the same way. Like it's kind of rad, and like it's
feels like a-
very trucky.
Yeah.
I do think it is kind of gimmicky
little
though, because it's
gimmicky.
not very good.
Yeah.
so no, yeah,
It doesn't
the
add to the
transmission
experience at
is
all. It
not
takes away.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah, the clutches. There's no feel
on
to
or
it
off.
the clutch is just a
whatsoever.
suggestion.
Yeah,
The shift. I personally am fine with the shifter because I'm used to old ropey long throw shifters like that.
Yeah, and it feels that way, yeah.
That's fine by me. The rev hang is possibly the worst I've ever encountered in a car, and I've driven a Honda.
Oh.
Okay, so that's what was happening. I was wondering,
Wow,
I'm like, why
it's
am
so
I
bad?
fucking up these shifts?
Yeah, like Rush, when you and I rode today, like we were actually counting like from throttle off to throttle back on 3 steamboats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like
That makes me feel a little bit
ridiculous,
better. 'Cause
yeah.
I was feeling a little noobish for some reason.
Yeah, like to do it smoothly, it takes so long. And like when you're going down the road, it's like fine, but that 1-2 shift is
It's
so
never
like,
smooth. Yeah. I don't know.
well, the truck is bearing down on you in a second.
And I even felt like when I was clutching in, I'm like, am I still hanging onto the gas when I'm
Yeah.
like, because it would like grunt or groan as I was shifting, and I'm like, so then deliberately I was like, foot off the gas,
Yep.
clutch in, like
Yeah, you have to have like throttle closed for a full second.
Yeah.
and then clutch in, do your shift.
yeah, so that wasn't great.
It's a little.
It wrecks what otherwise could be like a pretty fun novelty experience.
Yeah.
Like that's really it. And I don't think it's mechanical hang. I think it's partially mechanical, but I think it's mostly software. Because like
Yeah.
like I demonstrated this to you today, where like you going down the road, you clutch in, gas out at the same time, the revs will jump up, just like Hondas do,
Right.
and then it holds it up there for a while.
Yeah.
Why do OEMs do this?
It must be some kind of
thought it was like emissions.
efficiency
There is, like,
emissions
Yeah,
There's
Honda's
thing.
is an emissions thing.
It is an emissions thing to a limited extent, but like to a limited extent, guys. Like Jesus, like Cadillac and Mazda have this figured out. BMW figured it out years ago and then forgot.
Oh, I would say I would say most companies don't have like rev hang that's bothersome.
Who even makes a stick anymore?
That's probably the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, because there should. I don't know. The reason I say it feels like a novelty is like it just feels like work.
It does.
It's like it
does.
wears off after
Good
like the
point.
first like 10 minutes. You're like, okay, cool. I kind of wish I didn't have to do this anymore. Like, I wish it was just an automatic because automatics are that good.
Yeah, and
especially the 8-speed.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
actually good.
I think when you get into it, you want it to be good, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look cool. It's a good looking truck.
It looked like the truck itself is fantastic. I'm a big fan of the truck.
Right.
Like the interior is
It feels
well put
trucky.
together. It's well thought out. It's like suitably like tough truck.
Yeah.
Big chunky switchgear and shit.
Yeah.
Lots of storage. I like the wireless charging pad.
Yep.
I like the amount of oh shit handles. It's
Absolutely.
laid out nicely. The cluster's nice. The
Comfortable.
infotainment's fine. It's comfortable.
Yep.
Like good truck.
Yeah.
Like I prefer it with a hybrid and without the third pedal.
Do you miss
Or-
the V6?
I do miss the V6.
Really?
Yeah.
The V6 was a good offering, though, I think.
It was a good engine. Like
Yeah.
the last year, come on Nathan, words. The Tacoma I had last year with the V6 and the stick and the relatively base-ish package, kind of like this one, but with chunkier tires and the suicide doors that they discontinued. That was perfect.
right.
I thought that was like peak truck. And this has, I actually haven't looked up because I just got this yesterday. I haven't looked up the configurations they offer this thing in, but I believe they are all quad cab with either 5 or 6 foot beds. I think that's the extent of it.
5-foot bed. So I was on Toyota's site today.
Yeah.
5-foot beds, hey?
Well, because otherwise the truck is comically long. Because you need the quad cab for the kids, because everyone's, I don't know.
Using a truck, not for truck things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And like, I think the back seat in this, because like the Ranger suffers from this. All the mid-sized trucks suffer from this. Like the back seat is like not very good
Yeah.
in all of them. I think the Tacoma is probably the least bad.
The
Like,
previous
pretty
Ranger
upright.
was
Yeah,
the previous Ranger was terrible for rear seat legroom.
and the new one's like it's snug, but it's okay.
yeah,
And this one's in about that same realm, maybe a little better.
the Colorado and
They're bad.
and Canyon that Juju had were
pretty
they're
bad.
bad.
Were they
The rear
actually?
seats are
I don't
bad.
think they were that bad.
They're smaller, right?
Smaller.
Like they
They're
look
much- they're-
smaller.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
same same
the same class.
Well, same
class.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. It just the whole truck feels like what's the point?
And that's I guess
It just feels like what's the point of this truck? I don't know.
to
Help
that
me.
effect. Who's buying this?
Like, why do you want a truck with a stick that's slow? It doesn't have the right tires on it. Looks dinky because it's got little road tires on it. Like, doesn't have enough tech to be cool. Doesn't have enough off-road stuff to be off-roady.
I don't like this trim in particular.
I think that's what I'm
I
struggling
like
with.
the base Tacoma bones.
That's
I think
it.
the Tacoma is very good.
Right.
I don't like this
This
trim
one
very
is.
much.
I think that they missed the mark.
Yeah, but I think this will move because it's someone who wants like I like a sporty looking truck. I think that hood scoop looks tough.
It does.
Yeah,
But just get
and
rid
it's
of the manual.
exclusive to this. And then
Yeah.
get it with the
automatic,
automatic. But then you can say, "Yo, I got a manual, right?" Like maybe this person hasn't had a bunch of trucks, or they've had a bunch of manual trucks before and want their
Yeah.
trucks to stay the same way because that's what their last Tacoma was.
Right.
This
I
is
get it.
for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
The
Sure.
holdover 67% loyalty rate Toyota buyers.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Well,
buy
I
that.
kind of understand that more now.
Yeah,
Because
and,
like for a while, it was just like, what's the point of this thing?
yeah, I'd get one that was like without, kind of like the Blazer RS that we were talking about. Like, why are you bothering? You're not fooling anybody.
Yeah.
Rally sport.
Yeah, either be a cool guy or don't be a cool guy.
Yeah.
But don't pretend you're a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do like a baser trim or a badasser trim. And like I think in badasser trim it'd be cool because it's like Bilstein shocks and
They do look so
then like
yeah.
knobby tires and like
Heck
some
yeah.
cool guy shit.
You could do some jumps.
Do some jumps.
What's this thing worth? You know,
I honestly have no idea. Do you guys
Fair
want to fill the air for a minute while
Fair
I look
enough.
this up?
just got it yesterday. It's worth monies.
It
Yeah.
is definitely worth
I'm
a sum
actually
of money.
curious how much money this thing is worth because I think I spec'd out the TRD Pro that I was supposed to get this week.
Yes.
And I think that was like high 60s. So this is, I'm going to guess low 60s.
Yeah. I want to say high 50s, low 60s because I was dicking around on Toyota.
Yeah.
On Toyota.ca earlier today.
Yeah. And
this
this
is
is like-
definitely on the lower end of the lineup.
I could tell. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just being
But like
an asshole.
but like to its credit, like everything in that cabin feels quality. Like there's a reason why
Yeah.
you keep going back to a Tacoma because they're actually really nice, well built, well thought out truck.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
That you can like pretty reasonably count on that's going to keep working. And like every other Tacoma on Earth, it'll hold its value stupidly.
Wait, is it this one? One from the bottom? Oh my god, it's loading. Oh my god. Give me 1 second.
Oh my god!
TRD Sport?
No.
6 foot bed?
No, that's the automatic one. Keep scrolling. There it is.
This one?
Yeah, TRD Sport.
Third Sport?
Third Sport.
6M.
51,000.
Whoa!
I don't know if
54?
that includes...
With the TRD Sport package?
Okay, let me build in prices.
So like 55?
This thing probably
Someone
has
keep on
some
talking.
options because this thing has adaptive cruise and stuff. Like
Yeah.
this has
Yeah.
like a good chunk of options on it. So I'm gonna.
Oh, 55.
But I think
Yeah.
that includes freight and PDI.
And it had like did it have the JBL audio, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I think
so
it's like
it's not like bare bone.
yeah, it's not. It's like bare plus some options. I think plus
So
like
like-
probably like a $3,000 tech pack
Yeah.
or some
Yeah.
shit.
Like 52 and change. 53. Cool.
That's really good.
That is pretty good, actually.
That is pretty
That's
good.
a pretty cheap truck.
That is the
Yeah.
thing. Like in this economy,
Yeah.
that's actually pretty good.
That's why it feels cheap.
It does. I don't think it
Doesn't
feels
feel
cheap.
cheap.
No, I
I
wouldn't say
think
it
it
feels
feels
cheap.
way less cheap than the GMs did.
That's, oh, okay. That's for sure. But that's
Yeah.
just like GM build quality. Speaking of which.
Speaking of which,
We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
yeah. So like overall, I like the Tacoma. I think I'm not crazy about this trim, but I see its purpose, and man, stick maybe should have been left behind. If you're gonna do it this way, don't do it.
Yeah, because if it's just a chore to drive around it because of all the rev hang and like,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
just feels
It's
like
so bad.
effort.
Yeah.
And like, shouldn't it be enjoyable if you're gonna go to the effort of buying the manual,
Yeah, exactly.
like for engagement / like maybe you just want a simpler truck, quote unquote. Why make it worse to drive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why OEMs insist on just wrecking this shit.
Yeah,
But
there's
they
probably
is-
reasons.
I'm sure there is a good reason. If anyone actually has some knowledge on this is an engineering person's,
Automotive
at us,
journalists.
please, at
Please add
doubleclutch.ca.
us.
We would actually love to know.
Yeah.
I mean, the answer is going to be just a bunch of parts bin specials, and they put two Lego pieces together.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
even
as
then,
good
no,
as it
because
got.
they would have.
But they tune it.
Yeah, because this is the only application with this 6-speed stick. They had to
That's
develop a
true,
separate, a whole set of parameters for it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And the automatics don't do this. You take your foot off the gas and they stop. So, I don't know. If anyone has an answer, I'd love to hear it.
Beats me in the immortal worlds of Nathan Leipzig. I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
This is true.
Yeah. So
That is a thing that I've been known to say.
So in our heat wave of summer weather, we seem to be driving around a bunch of crossovers and trucks, which is weird.
Slightly.
But
Because all the cool V8 sports cars have been discontinued.
Yeah, they're all trucks now and crossovers.
Yeah. So let's talk about the cool
The Ultium Trilogy.
electron-powered stuff.
Yep.
Stole that from Nathan, too. Nathan, how'd you like their Blazer last week?
Didn't we talk about it?
Talk about it again. Come on.
Yeah, we got to. We need a little summary at least so that we can tie
last
it
week
into
was,
the other.
Actually, I genuinely do not recall. Did we talk about it on the podcast?
Last episode was the Colorado ZR2 and the
Oh, yeah,
Canadian
no, we can talk
84.
about it.
So we didn't talk about it. We
So?
saved it for this specific episode because we
For
knew that
reasons?
Imran was going to be it.
Right, with the
That's right. We did not talk about it.
That's
okay. So, a little bit of background on the Ultium project. New battery tech and vehicle architecture from GM.
It's basically going to underpin
Everything
that they're going to make.
like cars,
From
trucks,
EVs.
all of it.
Yeah.
Their whole thing with it, the reason why the tech is different, meaningfully different, and why Honda has chose to buy into it, which I think says something about its.
Yeah.
There's a word that starts with V.
Validity?
Validity. Thank you.
Yep.
Is it uses way less lithium and cobalt, like expensive rare earth minerals, per battery cell, while still getting the same power, longevity,
full of
charging
cheese.
capacity. They filled it full of cheese and magic.
You want cheese on that? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's all good. So yeah, this kind of insulates them from raw material pricing, because like that shit's gotten crazy since
Yeah.
EV demand has spiked so
yeah.
much. The cost of
Yeah,
lithium's gone up
definitely.
600% in 2 years. Like,
Wild.
how do you amortize that cost?
Yep.
So they've chosen to by just not buying it.
And I guess it helps from a ethical perspective as well.
Also,
Is
some
a
of that,
thing? Right?
that's probably not what
see
they were
that.
thinking about from the business level,
Yeah.
but like that's a thing you can say. That
But
sounds
it's good. Yeah.
nice. So there is that. They've had some hiccups with it in trying to
That's putting it mildly, I think.
in trying to package these batteries in a way. So it's just production that they're stuck on, like in getting these batteries to go down an assembly line reliably, because they have to be packaged and sandwiched in such a very specific way to get the capacity and thermal capability and this, that, whatever else. It's just finicky. So while they forecasted to sell 400,000 Ultium platform vehicles by end of 2023, they have delivered, I think, 20,000
Oh.
as of April.
So it's a production issue, not a
Oh, so they got
Production issue. There's demand, and like as I'm sure y'all have seen, like I think they got Lyriqs to roll off the line first,
absolutely.
and they are suddenly everywhere.
I know.
Yeah, they are.
Like it's fully the GTA effect. But when I stole the Lyriq from you last weekend, I was like, "Holy shit, a Lyriq!
Yeah.
Holy shit, a Lyriq!
I
Holy shit, a
started
Lyriq!"
noticing like a month ago. It's all of a sudden, there's everywhere, like all over the place now.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Ultium platform, I know we're talking about this trilogy here because they're very related.
Yeah.
These three, but like the Hummer is part of the Ultium.
Every new GM EV
Like everything.
is all
From
Ultium.
the Bolt, from the
the-
upcoming
even the
Bolt
yeah,
to the Hummer EV, they're all the same.
Yeah, the outgoing Bolt is not. The outgoing
Yeah.
Bolt was developed in production with GM South Korea, formerly known as Daewoo. I think it may also been a bit of a collab with LG, or the Ultium was a collab with LG. I don't recall off the top of my head. But yeah, that wasn't very in-house.
Right.
It was like a little in-house. This is like, okay, we're going to do this big. We're going to do it right. The plan was to usurp Tesla as the number one provider of EVs in the States. And they're seeing why Tesla was the only company in more than 100 years to spin up mass production from nothing, because it's fucking hard. And now they're seeing the same hiccups.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
But they're starting to deliver them now, and the three products that we checked out over the last 2 weeks have actually all been very fucking compelling vehicles.
Surprisingly enough,
So I guess I'll lead off and then I'll shut up for a bit because I feel like I've been hogging the mic. I had the first... Don't roll your eyes at me like that.
I didn't roll my eyes. I smirked. Come on. They're different.
I have things to say about this, and I did research.
I'm listening. I'm all ears, man.
So I had the Blazer EV last week. It was the RS trim, which makes it look fast, and I don't care for that.
Does RS stand for really sporty?
It does stand for really sporty.
Oh. Wow.
And like, while I have some misgivings with like the whole idea of like looks fast but isn't fast, the thing's not a dog, and other than that slight misgiving, I think the thing is like actually a really compelling product. It's really well put together. There's lots of room. It drives well.
That's cool.
Over 500 kilometers range. While it wasn't fast, it definitely wasn't slow at
quick.
all. Like the Prologue has the same powertrain. It's exactly the same as you have this week.
But you said over 500 kilometers range?
Yeah.
Because the Prologue was topping out at like 430 something. Is it a different battery size?
Is that what you showed or what you got?
It showed 438 or something.
What'd you get?
Oh, I haven't ran it down to 0, but
Could be different, like with like maybe the heat or something. Maybe it needs to like run the cooling more often or something.
It could be something
It was
like
a lot
that.
hotter this
because it was a
week
lot milder when I had the Blazer, so there's that. But they say like up to 505, I think. 505 or 515.
So probably around
And then
400.
like marginally longer with the larger battery and the single motor.
So the Honda, well, I guess we'll get to it, but it doesn't. I think there's only one battery option, so maybe you have the larger battery.
I think I had this 82 kilowatts.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that.
Oh, interesting.
So it might be, I don't know, slightly different calibration and range estimation. It could just be the like ridiculous heat this week. It's just like taxing the compressor so much more.
How much power does the Blazer have?
I want to, it's like just shy of 300.
Okay. Yep.
Like
Same thing.
same all-wheel drive 300, whatever. With like the bigger motor in the front, the smaller motor in the rear. I think it drove well. Lots of room. The new infotainment is generally pretty good. It's a huge screen, which is going to impress the kids. I think one of the big things they succeeded at is that it's very good looking. All these Ultium vehicles are characterized by being very wide. Like they're wide and have a very aggressive.
The first time I saw one, I was when I picked up the Colorado.
Yeah.
Because I stopped and I was like, whoa, what the heck is that? Because it looks straight like concept car.
Yeah. And
just like with the stance.
Yeah, it's so dramatic.
It's got presence.
Yeah.
Yep.
And just in case it's not abundantly clear, the Blazer EV has nothing to do with the Blazer. It shares zero components.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. And it does.
And
I think it looks cool.
The Blazer looks cool. I don't love everything they did with the interior, especially on the RS, because it's like, I'm not sure, it's a tiny bit tacky. There's like red vents and
I
stuff.
saw that.
And
It looked straight
like
Hot Wheels.
Flamey
Yeah.
Hot Wheels. That's
Yeah.
what it
It
was.
looked very Sony Explode. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Straight out of like 2002. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not to say that it was dated. Like the cluster's fine, the infotainment's nice, it's a huge screen. The only big problem with it, and I'm fucking bewildered as to GM's decision on this, is there's no CarPlay and no Android Auto, just in the Blazer. Because they're like, this infotainment is so good, you won't need it.
They're wrong.
They're dead ass wrong.
Totally.
What do people want a car to do? Start, go places, put my shit in it, and connect to my fucking phone.
Exactly. So what? So with this,
RAV4 ain't bad.
because I saw this
Like the infotainment's not bad.
But what is so? Is it strictly just like Bluetooth connectivity, or is there some sort of hybrid sort of screen mirroring thing going on?
No mirroring. Like
nothing?
your phone will connect, but like
Won't do anything
just
else.
for basic Bluetooth like playback and calling.
Like it takes you back to like 2006.
I mean, I like that shit, but yeah, that's what it does.
I was gonna say,
also,
you're not a huge fan of CarPlay.
I am not a huge fan of CarPlay, but I recognize I'm the only person on Earth.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, the call quality for the existing, like, Bluetooth connectivity, because I called a friend of mine, and she's like, are you in the Miata?
Yeah. Well, then you called me.
Yeah. So, like, hang on, let me check something. I call you, I'm like, yo, how's my call quality? And your exact words are, it sounds like you're on the fucking space shuttle, bro.
Yeah. It was. It's like, damn, I didn't know you got space shuttle tickets.
And to be abundantly clear, like, on the highway, cruise set at 110, windows up. Like,
Okay, so
Inside, it's quiet though. It's quiet.
it's quiet in the cabin is the thing. Like, it's well hushed.
okay, this is weird because the Honda has a different experience, but the bones underneath are the same. But we'll get into that. But does a Blazer make a weird noise like under 40 kilometers an hour? You know how like most EVs have this sort of hum or something so that pedestrians can hear them like, on the outside inside. Does the Blazer, is it obnoxious in any way?
Not that I noticed. Doesn't mean it's not there. It means it was 2 weeks ago and my memory is fucking marbles, buddy.
Okay. Because the Prologue has this, you can't defeat it in any mode, has this really annoying artificial spaceshipy sound. No, but you know what it sounds like?
I thought I was playing a song in the parking lot just now.
Yeah, so
Oh, I did hear that. Yeah, that was in the Prologue, yeah.
okay, so my sister, I was driving by her place, and she's like, literally, she's like, what's that sound?
Yeah.
Is that loud? Like, what the hell is that? And then the thing is, like, okay, from the outside, whatever, like, you know, F everybody else, but when you're driving it, under 35 kilometers an hour or whatever it is, the sound mixes in with the road noise to the point where it sounds like a bad wheel bearing or something.
like
So it'll be like, it's kind of
way.
like, you'll hear like,
I was wondering what that was. Okay, I did hear that, and I thought, like, maybe just pre-production things. I don't know. Because I thought it was a bearing. I thought it was broken.
yeah, that's
like,
what I'm saying.
fucked.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. That's what it sounds like. And it's like, it's irritating because
Yeah.
you keep thinking, you're like, is something wrong?
And I didn't get that out of the Blazer.
Yeah, I don't know why they did this. But
Yeah.
it's like, and you can't defeat it. Like, you cannot defeat it.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
That's weird. They'll probably tune that out.
So yeah,
Probably gonna be a software update or something.
Yeah.
there has to be.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice it when we were out in the Prologue just now, but I definitely heard
Something.
what sounded like dude, when you were backing up
Yeah.
into the Charger, it literally sounded like a song was playing from the car.
Yeah.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Weirdest fucking
Yeah.
thing.
It's weird.
And just to put perspective, Blazer cost how much?
So I was gonna kind of wrap up with that. So the thing's well put together. It's nice materials. Like nothing feels like garbage in it, except some of the turn stocks. I don't like them on GMs now.
Yeah.
They're kind of mushy. Everything else feels good, looks good, performs well. Has vented seats. Like that's like an expensive car feature, right? Vented seats and it
Yeah.
basically drives itself. 64 grand.
64.
That's really good.
64 grand.
Hang on, but it
that's
doesn't
really good
actually
value.
basically drive itself.
Yeah, does it have
it
GMs?
doesn't, no, it doesn't have lane tracing.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it just
It has adaptive, it doesn't have lane tracing.
Exactly.
So it kind of drives
Kind
itself.
of, yeah.
But drives itself and has cooled seats. That's a baller thing. And powered everything.
Wait, but does it
Yeah.
offer GM's Super Cruise?
no.
No. The RS is the top trim at this point. There is an SS coming that is, from what I understand, basically the same, just with the more powerful powertrain out of the Lyriq.
Okay.
Anyway, 64 grand for a big SUV with lots of room, lots of space, drives well, and well built. And goes over 500 kilometers and charges fast.
Oh, hang on. So about range, I was looking that up. That's why I got quiet for a second. So hang on, the Prologue,
Right.
it's rated at 452 kilometers range,
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
all-wheel drive. So that's what you got going on
Yep.
right now. The Blazer EV says it could either do. Oh my god, I lost it. Give me
515 or 525?
521, and that's what the RS, the rear. What did you have?
I had the all-wheel drive. Exact same powertrain as Emron's.
So then they were saying 449 or something like that.
Is it?
Why are they
449 would be the same.
I don't
virtually
know.
the same
And
thing.
also, I saw on screen at 100% charge, estimated range 505. No, 499. Estimated range 499.
Okay.
449, 499.
499. I took a picture of it.
I wonder if it's one of those things where they like, just like how BMW did with the first Supra, where they like bag the horsepower numbers. Mm-hmm. It's like Chevy doing that for the Blazer and Prologue. Like,
Maybe you're just dyslexic. It's 449.
I definitely
Okay, so
photographed
they're-
499.
so they're right around each other. Then.
So what I'm saying is, like,
makes
they're
sense.
within
$10
a couple of
difference,
kilometers,
roughly.
right? So it might just be like aero or whatever, but like 500. Okay, sorry, 400-ish kilometers of range
High 400s.
with your mid 400s.
Dude, I will show you the photo.
Whatever.
But wait, okay,
You will die
64? You said
64 what?
Grand.
64,000.
64 grand.
That's pretty good value.
That's very good
Prologue.
value. It's like 72, right?
72.
What?
Oh.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay, it does make a little bit of sense.
Tell me.
And, well, because, like, one of the things that I've mentioned to you guys about the Blazer is that, like, there's a lot of little things in here that I don't love. And I wonder if GM spent another $1,000 on every car and passed it on to the consumer and were maybe a little less tacky about it. I'd pay that money for that slightly nicer thing. And I think the Prologue's that thing.
No, but do you think...
Also, you got Pano.
But you're talking, like, aesthetically.
No.
No, like features too. Like you have CarPlay and Android Auto. You
Yes,
have,
so that's a big
I
thing.
think a much prettier interior. You have pano.
You have better infotainment.
Do you have lane tracing?
No.
Okay, so same tech.
Yeah. So tech is the same. All the switchgear, like it's all GM.
Yeah.
Like none of it is. There's no Honda
Except
pieces.
for the infotainment.
But it's a very Honda layout.
No, so the infotainment is also GM.
It's GM, but it's skinned.
It's a Honda layout.
Yeah.
And
which
so,
I think I prefer.
So they actually did a very good job. So I wasn't in the Blazer, so I can't comment on what that was like. But I will say they did a really good job of making it feel like a Honda for like the uninitiated.
Yeah. Hondifying a Chevy. I don't know.
And it's not disjointed.
And even like I have the Integra, and the way the Integra interior is laid out, if you go into the Prologue, it feels similar. You got the rectangular screen, you got the HVAC underneath with the two chrome, spinny dials on either end. Like it feels similar.
Yeah.
In a way, it reminds me a lot of the HRV in concept that Nathan had, in that it just feels there's just that sense of solidity that
totally.
you don't quite get in the Blazer EV.
Interesting.
This is very clean. It's very pragmatic. Like it's not trying to look red vents.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's very Honda, right?
Yeah,
like
it's just very sensible.
It's exactly. You look at it from a distance or even up close again, like it just feels very Honda. Like if someone was moving from a Civic or an Accord into something like this, or even from a Pilot, like they would feel at home.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't tell. You probably couldn't tell that.
You wouldn't really tell.
That it's a Blazer.
Yeah, unless you're like us and like actually notice, hey, that's the same turn signal stock.
Exactly, right?
It feels like a Honda.
Although one miss on the interior, because I was like, they got it like really right, but they missed out on. They could have used like the Civic, the Civic grill that goes the whole way.
Yeah, the honeycomb.
The honeycomb thing. I'm like, if they did that, it would have been like a 10 out of 10.
It would have been nice, yeah.
Because literally the shape of it is a long rectangle, but they just added a black plastic piece instead. I'm like, if that had that honeycomb, I'm like, you guys would have.
Yeah,
that would have A++. Like,
I will admit that would have gone a long way.
But it really
to making it actually feel more Honda-like than it already is.
That's the thing. Like, it really feels like. It definitely feels like a Chevy with Honda touches, but that's exactly what that car kind of needed. It's like the Blazer was like, okay, this is almost good, and then the Prologue's like, oh,
just
like,
that little bit.
You took out all of the annoying stuff that made this. Yeah.
I don't think the Prologue feels like a Chevy with nicer things on it. I think the Blazer feels like a Cadillac that's been dressed down a bit. Like it feels like it's incredibly good bones, and then they're like
definitely punching above its
let's
class.
make it tacky.
It's like the Guy Fieri of like,
it's kind of
right, like frosted tips.
Yeah.
Like it's like
look at my vents. Yeah,
like Rush, you and I started getting into this. Like, what is Chevy's identity?
I don't know.
It's just like kind of
Guy
awkward,
Fieri.
sort of like sort of tacky styling. Like kind of
take it a Flavor Town.
Like kind of awkward tacky styling. Like what do they make? Like all their cars look kind of awkward. The Corvettes picked up this awkwardness. Like I don't love their design language. I don't really like their corporate identity. They've gotten a little lost. Like what do they do?
Yeah, they're getting like before like Pontiac-ish died. Like it's getting like that kind of wildness going on. A
just
little bit.
do stuff.
Just do stuff and see what lands, and then we'll just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Like the Prologue has an identity. It's cohesive and it's tight and it looks expensive. The Cadillac looks nice.
Right.
It has an identity.
So okay, price. You said yours was $70,000.
72.
But this is the EX, right?
We had the Touring.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing, like, GM is building these for Honda. There's got to be something in it for them.
I guess, but what I'm saying is
that's the price difference.
Yeah.
It's the commission.
Okay. Yeah, because like a base Prologue is $59,000 out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, $59,000 plus freight and PDI.
Right.
And tax. So, what do you get with a Touring that you don't get with EX? Leather? Does it have leather? I can't remember.
It's leather.
Does,
it's leather.
And had the vented seats. So this would be like an RS, pretty much.
The Bose audio system.
Plus pano.
And pano,
Plus pano. So,
and the 21-inch wheels, which are actually pretty
the car looks good.
The car looks great.
It does.
Yeah.
It's just like, how do you justify like a $5,000 difference?
No, 6
Jesus
plus 2, 8.
Christ.
That's a solid interior. That's how you justify it.
I know,
It's just nicer.
but
Nicer.
$8,000 though? $8,000?
Also, like, would you buy a Chevy? Would
No.
you walk into a Chevy
No.
dealership
And I was
any
actually
reason?
just thinking that, like, dealer experience, also like having to deal with Honda people versus. No shade on Chevy, but I don't know.
Yeah, like what I can tell you what Honda is. I don't know what Chevy's doing.
That's it.
Yeah, I know what GM's doing, but then like they're just kind of like spin it off for Chev, and make it worse. I feel like the Lyriq and the Prologue are so well thought out.
The Lyriq is
and so like nice.
Yeah.
And then the Blazer is kind of like, stuff.
I mean,
like why? And it doesn't need it. It doesn't need CarPlay because the entertainment's gonna fuck. Like, no. Like, what are you doing? You know.
They were just in a GM board meeting, and the Chevy guy's just like, "Hey, I want one too."
Yeah. You already had an incredibly competent product in the Lyriq, and like, what if we just? It's not even like the materials are all that different. It's just like, let's just make it worse. Like, I don't know,
there's got to be some demographics.
It's very good. There's just like little style things I just don't get.
But I guess that's the thing, right? Like, at least with one thing we can give them credit for is that, at least from an appearance perspective, they're very different.
It looks cool,
right? All three of them are very different. Very different.
Yeah, they made an effort.
I guess there is a demographic that appreciates that blazeriness of.
I feel like the Blazer 1LT, like the base one, that has almost all the same shit as the RS, or it can be added on, just without the drama. Looks great.
What's that worth?
$60.
Oh, it's only a $4,000 difference.
Yeah. I think you lose a couple little things, but like they're inconsequential.
Yeah, a couple. I mean the vents. Please tell me you lose the vents.
You don't lose them, but they're not.
Why
red
would you
anymore.
lose the vents?
Red,
it's the same car.
No, but did you see like the red plastic that was around the RS ones?
Yeah, that wasn't pretty.
It was bad.
And it's like flamey.
Right, but you still have the same overall layout
Guy
of the vents.
Fiero, frosted tips.
That's a
Yeah, that's what that is. That's perfect.
Fieri, whatever the fuck his name is. But that's actually the perfect analogy
that's
for that.
That's what you're picturing it.
Jesus.
But it's not flames. It's red racing stripes.
Sony Explode vents.
It's like a sub. It's like what you would imagine a sub. Why don't we just take the vents out and put subs in it?
Yeah. But a very 04 rich sub.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like it's an amazing, GM has put together a fantastic product in this platform, and then Chevy middle managed it.
So you've driven all three, and we'll get to the Lyriq.
Yeah.
And then I think Nick, you've driven the Prologue, and I don't know if you've driven all three.
Yeah, all three of them.
Yeah.
Well, Nathan and I kind of split the Lyriq. I stole it
off
him for the weekend, so we'll both pitch in with that.
So before we get to the Lyriq, how did you find the drive of the Blazer versus the Prologue?
Identical.
Yeah,
identical.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you don't even think that Honda kind of said, "Hey, let's tweak this, let's tweak that." You think they just took it off the shelf and?
So far as I can tell, not having driven them immediate back to back.
Yeah.
A week apart, they're the fucking same.
So, having not driven the Blazer, I still agree with you because driving it, and it's not necessarily a knock, but it doesn't feel Honda-y enough. It feels like a GM crossover driving it.
I get you, yeah.
And again, that's not a knock. I'm just saying it feels different. Hondas generally feel a little bit tighter,
steering's a little better. It's more responsive.
There's
just more feedback.
Honda injects a little bit of athleticism.
Even
these
in
things
their
are
also
stuff.
6,000 pounds.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying it drives bad.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that
doesn't drive like Honda.
Yeah, for example, the EV9 is surprisingly athletic. I find.
It's weird until it's athletic until you start pushing it, then it falls apart real fast.
but I think it's tighter than this is. This
this feels a little more relaxed, and I think part of that is just its width. It's so planted.
And that's the other thing when you mentioned how wide it is. It felt I couldn't compute that being in a Honda because Hondas are generally kind of narrowish.
Yeah,
they're not super wide.
Type of portion. Yeah.
And so I kept it took me a day or two to
just accept it.
Yeah, because I kept in my head I'm just it's a Honda, it's narrow, and then I'm going to a parking space. I'm why do I have no space? But then you realize this thing is it's wide. It's long-ish. The dash ratio. I don't know if the Blazer has that too, where the dash is 12 feet from the windshield.
It's pretty long, yeah. Pretty steeply raked windshield.
Yeah, so it took a little getting used to, but overall, it's a pleasant ride, and I actually like the fact that 280 or 88 horsepower. I'm that's enough.
It's fine. It's enough.
It's
it
good.
never feels slow.
No, and
unless you're us and are in a million other things, it's not slow.
And it doesn't do the whole instant torque neck snapping thing that a lot of other things do, but
it's kind of a good thing.
That's exactly it. In a regular ass daily driver EV.
I don't mind it.
That's
exactly not a bad thing.
And I think the trade-off, positively, is the fact that I feel like the real world, electric economy.
Yeah.
What do we call it?
Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, it's actually quite good. I remember coming back from a couple trips. Yeah. And realizing, I'm like, I only lost like 6%. I thought it'd be
I used less than it said it was going to. Like,
and I think that's like the fact that it's not. They could have tuned this or whatever to more certainly, but because they didn't, your real world economy is actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
The only thing I wish I had was, like Kia and Hyundai do. I don't know if Kia does it, but the paddles to do on the fly.
Oh, can someone explain?
That's nice.
The regenerative braking.
Wait.
Sort of does
like that.
But it's
Can someone
one
explain?
paddle.
I feel like you'll know the answer to this.
probably not.
Because it has this left paddle.
Yes.
Which is like on-demand regenerative
You just squeeze
braking.
it and it stops.
So it's
I don't understand. It's a brake for your hand.
But the good thing would be like
a
if it was like sensitive, like if it was proportional to like the amount of
no, it's not. It's
no, it's on and off.
Okay,
That's it.
hang on. Okay, so
you gotta tap it.
in the Blazer and the Prologue, it is a button. You press it and the car stops or starts stopping.
Okay.
In the Lyriq, it is progressive. You
what
can
the heck?
feather it
What
and
the
stop
heck?
a little.
Okay,
Yeah.
and in the Honda, it's like
On and off.
in the Blazer, is it literally like a button, or you're saying it's?
Well, it's like it's a paddle.
paddle,
It's
but
the
it's
same
a button.
paddle as
Yeah,
yours,
okay,
but like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just on off. It's not
Yeah.
progressive.
And then the Lyriq is actually progressive.
It's actually progressive.
Okay, that's.
So you can actually like kind of use it.
Why would they do that?
I don't.
You have a good product, then you go, let's make it worse.
Yeah, take that out. They don't need that. It's like no, we really do.
Yeah,
So-
spend the extra $4 on the progressive switch. Fuck off, guys.
But again, it makes no sense to even have it at all.
yeah, the button doesn't
Well, it costs
make
some money to
sense.
take all the way out. So
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
but again, like just for context, you could be driving and instead of again having the paddles to shift into different regenerative modes automatically, there's a paddle and you hit the paddle and it will slow the vehicle down using regenerative braking.
Yeah.
Right to a stop if it has enough space.
Yeah, it just is a brake.
but it's jerky because it's a paddle that's
Yeah.
an on and off button. It's a brake that's an on and off switch, which is
just like who
stupid.
Yeah.
which focus group from those old Chevy commercials
yes, yeah.
said this is what we need. Right? Like I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't even understand it so much on the Lyriq, where it's way better. And like I was kind of using it, but
Yeah.
don't 100%. But Kia's done that. Like Kia did that too, where like if you hold the fake downshift
It'll go,
paddle,
like, full.
it will just stop.
Yeah.
But it also has like
Modes.
there's like
It does
4
have
or
a
1,
5
2,
that-
3,
Yeah.
and then like full regen.
Yeah.
Oh, one pedal braking,
One pedal,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't 100% know what that's about, and it really doesn't make sense where it's just the button. That's kind of weird.
So like it could be cool. It could be cool if they did that and made it better.
Yeah,
That's one thing I would miss.
But that's not the way. That's not like the management looked at it, because as we've discussed, GM management is problematic at times. And they looked at the cost of that switch and said nope. And they looked at the cost of deleting it and said fuck that too.
What do you mean we got to make a different wheel? Yeah.
I would love to hear from like whoever developed this or whoever greenlit this and been like, this is the way forward.
Yeah, I don't like that. The one I don't know. Actually, didn't find it on the Prologue. I wasn't in it long enough. But in the Blazer and the Lyriq, the one pedal driving mode is in the touchscreen. There's no physical button.
Oh, same thing.
It's in the touchscreen, and then it shows up as a shortcut on the screen, so you can do it on the fly.
That was a little annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
it
like-
doesn't do it in reverse. Reverse creeps. Reverse always creeps and is never one pedal.
When do you want a one pedal brake in reverse? What's wrong with you?
Just for
Because
continuity.
it's consistent.
Like, it's
I
just,
guess
yeah.
so. Like,
But I was on the forums and I was doing some reading. Apparently,
see.
they used to do one pedal in reverse, and they updated it out.
Oh.
that would be super annoying if you got used to
Yeah.
it. You driving your car one way and then the next day it was just like, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Details.
That's annoying.
GM always struggles with details. And getting into the Lyriq, so the Lyriq takes all of these little nitpicks we have with the two other Ultium vehicles and fixes them. Every single one.
Yeah.
So they
It's
just started
great.
with the Lyriq
Yeah.
and said, okay,
That's exactly what it feels like.
yeah, let's just do this worse
Yeah.
so that we have a product to show the people that want to buy a vehicle that's less expensive.
Yeah.
What
So-
the heck?
So I remember watching, I think it was a Throttle House video on the Lyriq.
Hi, Thomas. Hi, James.
And,
Shout out.
and they were commenting on the build quality being quite poor.
So was Nick.
So, yeah. So,
Hack, were you just copying them?
No, I was not copying them because I was actually touching things on the interior.
That's where we get our content from, actually.
What do those guys say?
I was like, wait, so for the
They
most
said
part,
it bugs.
for the most part, the interior is appreciably nicer than the Blazer
so
and the
much
Prologue.
nicer.
It's
so much more well laid out.
It
It's
is
the layout that's so
kind
much
of the
nicer.
same
it is
thing.
extremely
No, but it's got the better center console.
pretty.
Yeah.
I
And
love the finishes.
and a smaller screen that's much
my God.
nicer.
Yeah.
I love the finishes. I love the whole like super widescreen
Right.
infotainment gauge cluster and that little headlight switch or whatever on the side. That's kind of configurable. I love that. It makes a very
Escalade.
yeah. It makes a very good first impression, like in terms of visual pizzazz.
Right.
But when you start touching things, it's kind of like a little creaky in some places. Like
Oh my God, plastic is creaky.
No, but you know what's funny is like I didn't find that on the Prologue at all. I don't know if you found that on the Blazer.
The Prologue's pretty good.
No, the Blazer's pretty solid.
Yo,
That's
actually,
weird.
no, the Cadillac. Hang on. So the Lyriq, it was some of the finishings around. Oh, like the glove box in the middle didn't close right all the time.
yeah,
And then there's also some weird stuff with the leather on the dash, the faux leather material,
that weird cutoff
weird
there.
flashing. Like,
Yeah.
it was not a finished product. It felt like it wasn't finished.
Yeah, it felt a
like-
little pre-production.
and like
in some
around the
ways.
cup holders, when you like touch the metal and the wood trim, where all that means, it's kind of like
So then stop touching it. What's wrong with
Yeah.
you?
He just likes
Fine.
poking things.
But also, I think it's also a first year car, so like they'll figure it out.
no, but the weird thing is that like the Honda didn't have any of that.
That's because it wasn't first.
Well, they also took out all of that
So yeah.
crappy fake wood trim and
Yeah, it's
garbage,
also
right?
like the Prologue is by far the simplest of the three. As far as
Yeah.
like
That's exactly
just
it.
pieces
Yeah.
putting
It's the most
together, the
cohesive.
Prologue's
Yeah.
the simplest.
And I
Whereas
think
the Lyric's
Honda
got a
thought that
ton of
through.
shit going on.
That's it.
Yeah.
Honda was like, how do we make this simple and well put together? And
Yeah.
like think about it for a second. Okay, do it.
How do we make it cheaper for GM to build to save us money?
Right. And then Cadillac was just like, more stuff.
More stuff, more swoops, more curve, more
Yeah.
trim, but it looks expensive.
It does look
It
nice.
does.
Yeah.
It looks so fucking cool. And the
Yeah.
dual motor layout, the dual motor
Powertrain is amazing.
it really is.
So
It's fun. Quick.
what's the ratings on that thing?
So the way they did powertrains
Good.
on these is kind of fucked. So there's the E all-wheel drive, which I think actually means entry all-wheel drive.
okay.
Honest to God, I think I saw that.
Okay.
It's a slightly bigger motor in the front, smaller motor in the rear. And then there's the single motor rear-wheel drive. That single motor puts out more power than the E all-wheel drive combined. It's like 340-ish.
Okay.
And that comes with the bigger 102 kilowatt-hour battery. And then the Lyriq and the upcoming Blazer EV SS. What a name.
Yeah.
Those
Takes that bigger rear motor
Yeah.
and then puts the motor back in the front and keeps the big battery. So it's like 500 horsepower.
So wait, the Lyriq is in that dual motor setup is
Yes.
In the-
front biased?
Rear biased. Whereas
Where you
yours,
said the bigger motor's in the front.
the bigger motor's in the rear.
Oh,
so
okay,
like
okay, sorry.
it's weird. So on the base ones, the bigger motor's in the front. On the badass ones, the bigger motor's in the rear.
Okay, so Honda
confused
does the
yet?
bigger motor in the front.
Yes.
And they said they did that to give that front-ish feel that
make it feel like a Honda.
people like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Probably.
confused yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's I don't know why GM opted this, but they did.
Interesting.
But like, why make three totally different layouts?
Money.
Well, I wonder if Honda wanted that sort of front
drive
layout,
band.
and they're like, oh, we'll use that too.
Maybe. There might be
Probably.
something to that.
Could be.
Yeah. There's probably some like corporate reason, like, oh, we can get this motor for cheap. So we'll offer this as a base all-wheel
Yeah.
drive one.
Yeah. I don't know. They all kind of feel the same. They all look the same. They're all good.
So
The Blazer's the worst. The Prologue's pretty good, and the Lyriq is pretty badass.
the Lyriq, the Lyriq definitely has presence.
It does.
And like, yeah, even from afar, and then when you get up to it, it's like
It's cool.
They
Yeah.
look cool as fuck.
It also looks, and it probably isn't. This is probably just a stylistic thing. It like looks bigger than the other one, too.
Yeah, I got that impression too.
Yeah, but I doubt it is.
It's a very successful design. Like
Yeah.
like it's hard to make a car look bigger than it is without also being boaty and terrible. They succeed. It just looks imposing. It looks like an expensive, like, yo, that's fucking neat product.
So when I stole the Lyriq from you for the weekend, that was also my first time experiencing Super Cruise.
really.
And oh my god, that's
Works
fucking
well.
freaky as shit.
Yeah, and in this implementation, they usually update it all the time. It's really, fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, actually legit drives itself very, very effectively.
I loved
Yeah.
it in the Yukon.
It has
Red.
lane discipline.
It
So,
does.
like we talked before, like how it'll change lanes. It will change lanes back if someone else tailgating you.
No.
It's fucking incredible.
Wow.
yeah, it's
Now we
really
know how to
cool.
mess with all the Lyriq owners.
Force them out of your life. Says the BMW driver.
Yep.
Just saying.
I know. I bet he's using Super Cruise.
Just for some context for those who aren't familiar with Super Cruise, at least in the Lyriq, basically if you set your cruise control to a certain speed, come up to someone who's going slower than you, even if you're in traffic, that thing will look at the spaces around you and
signal and change
lanes automatically without you having to touch anything. And it's really fucking cool.
Okay, so that's weird. Hang on a second. The Lyriq offers Super Cruise.
Yes.
You can't get on the lesser models because they don't want to offer it, which is fine. But then how come those ones don't have lane centering at least?
Because it's how GM packages their... So lane centering is part of the Super Cruise package, apparently. That's what I was reading.
Okay, that makes some sense.
So because of that.
I mean, it doesn't really, but I see what they're trying to do.
I guess instead of having to develop a separate system that has lane centering without Super Cruise, they just package them together.
No, I get it.
You get it or you don't get it.
Cool.
The other thing that really struck me about the Lyriq, not necessarily the one we have, is that even with the lower spec trim levels, it's really good value.
I haven't even started writing the review yet because I'm bad. Like the base tech, I think, is the base one at like 80-ish grand.
74.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. For something that looks like that, has that much presence, has that fancy of an interior. Admittedly, you don't get Super Cruise.
Yeah, you're missing Super Cruise. You're missing the wonderful 19-speaker AKG system that's in the nicer ones.
So that was actually a question of mine, not to derail this, but because when I had the GMC Yukon, it had like a Bose audio system. And it was like trash.
Yeah.
And then I read everywhere, and we had the Escalade. I didn't get to hear it, but apparently the AKG system in there is wonderful.
Incredible.
Really good.
And then I had the XT4. I know it's not the same thing, but it had the AKG audio system, and I expected it to be pretty good. It was not.
So that's
so where does the Lyriq land?
So that's kind of where I'm coming.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. I was expecting it to blow me away because it is GM's flagship Ultium product,
right?
With the AKG sound system, so I was ready to be blown away. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Just pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's not. It's pretty good.
It's a little more muddy than I was expecting.
That's the thing with the XT4. I thought the same thing.
But it has active noise canceling.
It was
very quiet. So it's even quieter than the already quiet Prologue and Blazer.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, where I was getting at is like for someone that feels as great as the Lyriq does, at like 74 to start for the base model, that's really good.
Yeah, and you're getting the same powertrain in all of them. Like, you're not giving up range or performance.
Yeah.
And
they fixed everything too. So it's almost like, why does it make sense to get anything other than the Lyriq?
So I remember looking it up
because to get the same feature list as in say the Blazer EV, you're paying $30,000 more.
Yeah, and it's like even the Prologue, because you're saying your touring model was 72, so you probably have to spend 80 to get that into a Lyriq, but for 10 grand, which I don't know on a monthly payment may not actually be that much.
Probably doesn't translate to much of a difference.
No, but you're getting more though, right? At 80, like
that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying, and it's also the most polished version of it.
Right.
Ours was 84-ish as tested. Right. 84, 85.
No, I thought it was 94. It was ours was decked. It was like the Sport 3 with like fancy paint and fancy leather and fancy trim.
Sport 3 Plus.
And Super Cruise, which is expensive, and the vented seats and pano and the AKG system. There's a lot of like shit to differentiate
it's like 90-ish.
But like huge wheels and
and different powertrain, right? Because the
Lyriq has yes, the Lyriq has the much better powertrain, but all Lyriqs have that powertrain. So I think for like a base Lyriq at 74, you're getting like fewer line items on the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But you do get a Lyriq with the better powertrain.
Right.
Yeah.
And then to add those features back in, all right, open up your wallet.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I think you can go for the luxury or the Tech 2 or something that adds all those most of those line items back and you're still under you're still under 80 grand at that point.
Yeah. You can't spend 100 grand on a Lyriq. You cannot.
And it looks like you can. Like
that's the thing.
It does very much look like, if I saw that, I'd say that's in and around $100,000 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Lyriq is.
It's pretty cool.
The Lyriq is kind of a problem though. Like,
it's too good.
Yeah, like especially I feel like the Prologue is kind of like lost in the mix. Because to me, it's like
I don't know, man. I think if I
hang
were...
on, just let me finish. It's like it's a Honda, which is cool, and like it's got the Honda finishes, which is awesome. But like the Lyriq is also really well polished, and like it does a good job of fixing a lot of like the problems that we've seen in the Blazer. The Blazer is like, to me, it's just like, if you want cheap, as you would say, value, sure, maybe you can look at that. But like, to me, like the Lyriq also makes more sense for value perspective. Like you get more.
You get way more.
And you don't have to deal with the BS of, Chevy.
Yeah.
So
Right, but you can also get into a base Prologue for around the
60.
same money as
a Blazer.
a Blazer EV.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what... So I think the base Prologue might be the...
I think the base Prologue has less shit than the base Blazer. The base Blazer is actually really well equipped. Like, has more than any of them in their base trim.
Interesting. But I guess if you want the Honda badge,
Yeah.
which means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah. Like the Honda just kind of style and way of doing things. That means a lot to me. I do the Honda over the Blazer. Fuck the price difference.
Right.
Yeah, I think
I'm with you there.
I think that's where I'm at too. If not a mid-level, if not a mid-range Lyriq, I'd probably go Prologue.
The other little knock against the Lyriq is that because the base trim starts above the, I think, $65,000 cutoff for the federal EV incentive, you don't get it.
Oh, that's actually, okay, yeah.
It changes things a little bit.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Cadillacs for the rich people.
Yeah, apparently.
And that takes us to the end of our episode this week. Imran, Nathan, Rush, thank you for joining in the studio, boys. If you all wish to follow along on our automotive misadventures, you can do so at doubleclutch.ca on socials. And
it's so hot in here. Fuck.
I was literally, your drink is literally sweating.
It's
it's
melting.
literally pooling on the table.
and that's our cue. Thanks for listening, Nathan's mom.
Hi.